Just like Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, the Dark Knight trilogy began 20 years ago with The Batman Begins, with all the glorious actors and actresses to boot. And I suppose you could say it was one of the big breakthroughs for so many, and established legacies for so many too. So many things, so many glories, so little time. Happy anniversary, and let's get started, shall we? So many details, so much to talk about, so little time. My friends, happy anniversary. Happy 2 decade anniversary to The Batman Begins of Christopher Nolan's work. That's right. Thanks to some YouTubers, I watched the movie just today, had some fun, and I'll be giving you my full divided attention and my review on this movie. Let's get started. Batman Begins is a 2 decade old superhero film directed by the great Christopher Nolan, who co-write who co who co-wrote the who co-write the script with David S. Gordon. I can't get that one. I'm sorry. Based on the DC comics of yours truly, the Batman, it stars Christopher Bell as Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, Michael Crane, retired, but still his legacy remains, as Alfred Pennyworth, Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul, Kate Holmes, I can't say this word, as Rachel Danvers, I think her name was, Gary Oldman, our glorious Jim Gordon, and who played a Sirius Black, Cullis Murphy, who I see this movie was one of his big breakthroughs, and if you remember that handsome devil in the Peaky Blinders, and the legendary great Morgan Feckin Freeman. Let's see. The film reboot the Batman film series, telling the origin story of Bruce Wayne from the death of his parents to his journey to become Batman and his fight to stop Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow from plunging Gotham into chaos. Let's see here, shall we? After Batman and Robin, that came out a year before me and my brother's birth in 1997, the film was panned by critics and by the fans, and an underrated performance at box office. As a result of that, Warner Brother Pictures had no choice but to cancel future Batman works, including the late Joel Schumacher planned Dark Batman Uncharted or Unchained, I don't tell. It says here between 1998, the year of me and my bro's birth, and 5 years after we were born, several filmmakers collaborated with Warner Brothers in an attempt to reboot the franchise after the studio rejected an origin story reboot that, John, what's his name? I think you probably know that guy from. Yeah, this is the same guy who did some work from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Did some co-work in the Toy Story franchise, Age of Ultron, and the Justice League that came out in 2017, which was in the DC Extended Universe, which I'm sure you guys know that guy, who's not exactly very pleasant because of how the actors and actresses disliked him because of his attitude. It says here, pitched in his story about 4 years after me and my brother were born in December of 2002. It says here, Warner Bros. Hired Mr. Nolan in January, about 2 years before the film came out, to direct a new film, which him and his partner began developing on the film in the early years of 2003, aiming for a darker, more realistic tone compared to the previous films. A primary goal for their vision was to engage the audience emotions, investment in both the Batman and Bruce Wayne identities of the lead character. Interesting, most interesting, and intriguing. It says here the film was practically filmed and shot in multiple locations. So let's see, the United Kingdom, Iceland, and even Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if New York was put in a few places. And let's see, relied heavily on traditional stunts, effects with general images. Wow, this guy really threw in everything, and being used in. And let's see, compared to other films that came. Let's see. It says here comic book storylines such as The Man Who Fell, Batman 1 Year, and the Batman Long Halloween served as inspirations. But it was a little different from these stories with a little bit of twists. It says here expectations for Batman Begins range from moderate to low, which I wouldn't be surprised if, due to what happened with Batman and Robin, people lost faith in the Bat, which I would probably say I'm not surprised. And let's see, after it premiered in Tokyo of May the 31st of 2 decades ago, and after the film was released many months later in the US of today, it received positive reviews from the critics, who deemed it an improvement over Burton and Smerton's films. No offense to you, Tim, and honestly, Joe, you may not have been the best director, but you did make some memories, so respect still. It was also a commercial success, grossing over, whoa, $371 million worldwide against a $150 billion budget, becoming the ninth highest grossing film of 2 decades ago, and was the second highest grossing Batman film at the time of its release, behind Tim Burton's first Batman work, receiving nomination awards for the awards, and it seems like this one became Mr. Bell's breakthrough to elevate him to leading man status, while also made Christopher Nolan a high-profile director. And I can see why this movie is so popular. Ooh, man. And since its release, this film has been often criticized as one of the most influential films of the 2000s. It was credited for rejuvenating the Batman character in popular culture, shifting its tone towards a darker, more serious tone and style. The film helped popularity the term reboot in Hollywood inspired studios. Good lord, this thing revived and made a lot of inspiration that became a symbol. So it seems like Batman was not just a symbol to both basically the to Gotham. His film actually became an inspiration to inspire many in Hollywood, many others in studios to elevate themselves. Like Jim says, you really started something. And after that, it was followed by The Dark Knight Dark Knight that came out about 3 years after the Batman, and about 13 years ago, The Dark Knight Rises, with the film consisting of with the three consisting films combining the Dark Knight trilogy. I can only do a few characters, but let's see. And since I can throw in my few favorites, and since I know a few of them, let's get started, shall we? God almighty. Oh,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I can't believe I got that second name of his wrong. It says here Mr. Bale played as Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman, which can't, like I said, it was part of the reason why his career elevated. A billionaire who, after witnessing the death of his parents at the age of 8, traveled around the world 7 years before returning to Gotham to inherit his family's company of Wayne Enterprises while operating at night as the masked vigilante Batman, bringing justice upon the criminal underworld of Gotham City. It says here Mr. Bale was relatively unknown when cast. Before he was confirmed on September of 11, about 2 years before the movie came out, having expressed an interest in the role since looks like an other few people, since I'm not sure who this guy was planning his own adaptation film. Good lord. Seems like a lot of people were inspired and working to become the role of Batman. Even Heath Ledger was on the role. But as you know, the guy became the Joker, and then I think his name is Cullen Murphy, I think he was, who played as Dr. Crane. So while those two didn't get the bat, at least they got alternative prizes, which still worked well for their careers. And a damn shame what happened to Mr. Ledger, God rest his soul. It says here Josh, what's his name, met with Nolan about the role, but decided against pursuing it. And Bailey, and Murphy auditioned using the Batman Forever suit provided by Val. God rest that man. But the cape was lost, and Amy Adams served as the casting reader for. Amy was busy back then. Not bad. Interesting. As the casting reader for the crew of the Batman in favor of casting. It says here Bale felt the previous film underused the Batman character, overplayed the villains. It says here the man was studying very well, and it looks like, judging by all of his details, Mr. Nolan said he had the balance of light and dark. Man, the guy was dedicated very well. Did the exercise, lost a lot of weight, made some muscle mass, you name it. But the guy definitely did very well. Man, I'm not bad. I really hate to use the pronounce, but I hope you guys can understand. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Michael Caine,
who played as Alfred Pennyworth, a trusted butler to Bruce's parents, who continued his loyal service to their son after what happened to them. And he was a very close father figure to Bruce. It says here Nolan offered the role to Anton Hopkins, I think his name was, but he declined. Nolan went to Michael Caine's house country home to personally deliver him the script, telling him what his role would be, and described Alfred as a godfather. It says here Nolan felt Alfred would effectively provide the foster father. Hmm. Although Alfred is described as in the film as serving the Wayne for generations, Michael created his own backstory in that before becoming Alfred's butler. Although it says here Michael was served in the Special Air Force, which means he could have been a soldier back then. You could see after being wounded. Oh, my bad. He created his own backstory. My bad. It says here Alfred served in Special Air Forces, and after being wounded, he was invited to the position of the Wayne family butler by Thomas Wayne himself. He wanted a butler, but someone a bit tougher than that, you know? Yeah, I can see what you mean. Ah, Liam Bloody Neeson, Ra's al Ghul, the leader of League of Shadows, an ancient society that used chaos to punish the corruption and evil, I suppose, who goes undercover as an associate of the League and trains Bruce in the martial arts. Yeah, I may have spoiled that, but my bad. It says here the writer said he felt he was the most complex character of all the Batman villains, compared him to a monstrous terrorist who caused the 9/11 incident, the main mastermind of it. He's not crazy in the way of that all other Batman villains. He's not bent on revenge. He's actually trying to heal the world, but he's actually doing it his way. It says here Gary was the first choice for the part, but he ended up with Gordon. Oh well. And it looks like Guy Pearce, who collaborated with Christopher Nolan on Memento, heard that the pair had discussed about him playing the role, but both of them declined that he was too young for the part. It says here the one who played as Aragon was also considered for the role, but no matter. So the revelation that his character was the main villain was intended to shock the viewers. I don't know if it shocked them, but still, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, 2 more to go. Kate Holmes as Rachel Danvers, Bruce's childhood friend and love interest, who served as Gotham City's assistant director attorney and fights against the corruption in the city. It says here no one found a tenacious, warm, and great emotional appeal in her, and also felt she had matured beyond her years that come across in the film and is essential to the idea that Rachel is something of a moral compass for Bruce. Yeah, had a feeling about that. God almighty, it's a lot. This rate will take me hours to fix this up. But for progress, I will do so. Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon, one of the honest cops in Gotham City, who was the one who comforted that poor Bruce after what happened to his parents, and in this way shared a special bond with the adult Bruce and with Batman. It said, as I double checked, Mr. Oldman was recommended for the role for Raish, but Cooper, I think his name, turned down the part of Jim to spend time with his family. Nolan decided that it would be a refresher for Oldman, who is renowned for his portrayals of villains, to play the role. Oh, so he decided to give him a hero role out of villains. Not bad. I see, not bad. And wrote, let's see. I embodied the themes of the film, which are the values of family, courage and compassion, and a sense of right and wrong, good and injustice. Oldman said of his character. It says here he filmed most of his scenes in Britain or Berlin, and it says here Oldman resembled Gordon's character of Batman Year One. Honestly, I can't say I'm surprised. Mm. Curtis, I think his name was, but I want to get his name properly into the works. Then I'm going to get to Morgan. Then I'll give you my full attention of my review. Oh, I almost forgot. Maybe I should take care of the song. Oh, oops, almost. Yoink. Who are you?
Killian Murphy.
Killian. Damn it, I really need to work on that. Killian Murphy as Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, a corrupt psychiatrist working as a chief administrator of Arkham Asylum, a specialist in the psychology of fear. He secretly created a fear inducing toxin and plots with Ra's Goal to expose the entire population of Gotham with it. It says here Nolan decided with against Mr. Murphy playing as Batman, but decided to settle for him playing as Crane instead. Murphy read multiple comics featuring the Scarecrow and described the makeup of the character less theatrical with Nolan. It says here those two were. It says here he wanted to make something bigger of it. He wanted to avoid something. He was petitioning to make it more the manipulation of the mind and more fearful. And judging from the film, I can see why. And Robert Downey Jr. was considered for the role, but he got turned down. All right. And finally, Morgan Freeman, a high-ranking Wayne Enterprise employer devoted to working in the company's scientific division where he conducted studies and works. Lucius was the one who provided Bruce with the tech and the gadgets in order for him to become Batman. And now, what's the song? And then, what is my review opinion? Man, this is the longest one I've done in a while, but it's so fucking worth it. Whew, man, I miss this kind of crap, you know?
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, I think his name was. And James Newton Howard. Those guys were the ones who made the music. Very well done. In my opinion, there's not really much I can say. 10 out of 10. The acting, the story, the music, and everything was all perfect. And none of it would be possible without every one of the cast members, every one of the musics, choreographer, editors, you name it. And if it wasn't for this movie, the glorious Kristen Nolan's career as a director in many movies would not be possible. Hell, a lot of good actors and actresses wouldn't be possible without that movie too. This movie deserves our highest level of respect, especially since it has came out 2 decades ago. And I have to give this to myself, to them. Well done to you all. You are indeed worthy of the mantles, and you did indeed inspire many. And I hope that there'll be another one that will do the same just as much as you all did as well. And I wish you all the best. And to all of you who watched this video, as always, link is in the description of the movie if you want to watch it while there's still time, even though the anniversary is over. And you may tell me what you think of this video, and if there's anything you want to bring up, you'd say it in the comments. Well, time to turn in for the night. May the Batman watch over you all, and may you all enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys hopefully sooner than most. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon again. Like I said, God, I'm stumbling my words, but I'm actually feeling damn well ecstatic and happy to be back. I have spoken. Later.